Comprehension video number 1. Union budgets begin reflecting greater climate concerns from 2021 in the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic, with a modest 4,500 crore to localize solar photovoltaic production and to reduce India's dependence on Chinese imports. But there has been a cautious, disjointed approach to the scale and allocations. While five broad sectors cement, steel, aluminium, and fertilizers, decentralized solar power, greening irrigation pump sets, green hydrogen, and nuclear energy received attention in Budget 2026-27. The most prominent announcement was the proposed 5-year outlay of 20,000 crore for carbon capture, utilization and storage (CCU). This is a modest provision for a suite of costly and complex technologies. The allocation signals that India is entering a pilot and demonstration phase rather than embarking on immediate industrial deployment. While operational examples exist in Norway, Canada, and the US, scaling CCUS, CCUS क्या है? Carbon capture, utilization and storage has proven expensive and uneven. The technology is primarily relevant to sectors where emissions are embedded in the production process. The EU's carbon border adjustment mechanism will impose carbon costs on imports of high emission products. So for India, decarbonizing industrial production is no longer only a climate imperative, it is now a question of export competitiveness, particularly for steel and aluminium, which form the bulk of India's CBM carbon border adjustment mechanism exposed exports to the European Union. The budget also substantially scales of the PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana rooftop solar scheme 22,000 crore into 2026 to 27 from 17,000 crore for the current year. It is a welcome push towards decentralized energy systems that reduce land pressure, transmission losses, and household energy costs. However, implementation challenges remain, including DISCOM cooperation and upfront finance. Similarly, allocations for PM Kusum solar irrigation pumps have been sustained at 5,000 crore. Revised estimates suggest stronger than anticipated absorption. For nuclear energy, the government has extended zero basic customs duty on imports of nuclear plant equipment until 2035. While this reduces input costs, nuclear power remains capital intensive with long construction timelines and financing risks. Recent legal changes permit private participation, but whether private capital will enter a sector entwined with national security, safety and liability concerns remains uncertain. Green hydrogen, despite budgetary support, continues to see modest actual spending, highlighting the persistent gap between policy ambition and execution. Overall, India's climate budget for 2026 to 27 repeats a pattern big on intent, cautious on allocations, and uncertain in its ability to mobilize. The private capital required to accelerate decarbonization across vital sectors. क्या बोल रहा है क्वेश्चन देखिए अब क्या बोल रहा है व्हाट कैन बी रीजनेबली इन्फर्ड अबाउट इंडियाज क्लाइमेट स्ट्रेटजी फ्रॉम द 2026-27 बजट इट प्रीफर्स सिंबॉलिक कमिटमेंट ओवर लार्ज स्केल एग्जीक्यूशन पहला ही सही होगा इट प्रीफर्स सिंबॉलिक कमिटमेंट्स ओवर लार्ज स्केल एग्जीक्यूशन देखिए यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहा है यहाँ पे बोल रहा है द modest provision for suit of post and common the allocation signal that India is entering pilot and demonstration phase rather than embarking on immediate industrial development deployment ठीक है यहाँ पे लार्ज स्केल पहला तो इंडिया प्रायोरिटाइजेज रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी ओवर इंडस्ट्रियल डिकार्बोनाइजेशन ये गलत है इंडिया फुल्ली कमिट्स इमीडिएट इंडस्ट्री इमीडिएट तो कर नहीं रहा है इंडिया निगलेक्ट्स ये भी गलत पहला ही सही होगा नेक्स्ट अब देखिए व्हाट इज द ओवरऑल टोन ऑफ पैसेज ये क्रिटिकल होगा क्रिटिकल क्योंकि यहाँ पे देखिए टोन देखिए टोन क्या बोल रहा है ओवरऑल इंडियाज क्लाइमेट बजट फॉर 2026-27 रिपीट्स ए पैटर्न बिग ऑन इंटेंट cautious on allocations and uncertain its ability to mobilize the private capital required to accelerate decarbonization across vital sectors तो ये क्रिटिकल के अंदर आएगा देखिए क्रिटिकल टोन क्या कहता है क्रिटिकल टोन ऑफ a passage means the writer is finding faults judging or expressing disapproval about something it does not always mean negative abuse it usually means the author is analyzing weakness or pointing out problems the author is not satisfied and is questioning or criticizing what is the overall critical होगा thanks for watching like and subscribe